way too much, but you've been driving me crazy. Never felt like this before. I try to be nonchalant, even though it's obvious. I can never help wanting more. Oh, slip into the dark and then we end up in each other's arms. There's no looking back, I gotta find a way to where you are. Make me your shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I'll follow you. Only feel right when I got you close. Without you, I'm hollow. Wherever you are is where I call home. Make me your shadow. Your shadow. Play me like it's truth or dare. The way you're pulling me closer makes me wanna bear it all for you. Ooh, why don't you show me how much you care? Be the devil on my shoulder, 'cause I don't think we got a lot to lose. Ooh, make me your shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I'll follow you. Only feel right when I got you close. Without you, I'm hollow. Wherever you are is where I call home. Make me your shadow. Your shadow. Searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. We're back for the final week of the main stage, the final day of the main stage before LAN. I'm Mr. Bepic as always, and I am joined by the wonderful Volts. How you doing today, my friend?
God, what a sentence, Bepic. Final day before LAN. Oh my goodness. Can't wait to get everybody in front of us in person. We're super excited for this, but you know, these are big matchups, Bepic. Huge matchups here because they decide who gets to see your lovely face in person.
Oh, yes. Alabama versus UNA. The players are eager to get this one going, so we're just going to go ahead and send them for this game one of potentially 7. Mr. Jake wants to get the scoring started, and UNA is going to need to get the scoring started early on because although they are missing Chan and Brock, Volt, Bama still a good team.
Very good team. We haven't gotten to see Solutions, but I've seen Airy around, and he just about had a massive dunk. So not at full strength. An unfortunate break there, but Alabama still has to be the favorite in this matchup. Bepic in a new thing for the main stage as far as this season goes. Best of 7 in front of us today.
Yeah, it's a long one for playoffs, and no other way you'd rather decide who gets to attend the grand finals of this Rocket League event in Birmingham, Alabama, and a best of 7. Minutes gone by, and so far some decent pressure from UNA. I've been impressed with them. They've had to play some defense, but they've been able to turn Alabama aside with some relative ease. But in come the Crimson Tide, and in comes Buck for the score.
This is a great read from Airy there to get the clearance out. He immediately looks for the bump, and Buck is just going to be faster there. Hub's left out to dry. I mean, if you go for the ball, you get bumped. If you do what he did, you're just not going to be fast enough. Tough place to be put in, but just a minute in, plenty of time to regain.
Especially with Red Dead Pain off the ceiling. Tried to dunk Buck there, but no luck. Airy into the corner, looks for a second touch, pops it straight up, and steals a corner boost on the way out. Miss there, going to leave Hub, who doesn't have a whole lot of boost in the tank to do what he can, but what he can is enough to get a shot on target and force Alabama into a sticky situation defensively, but they're able to work their way out of it and clear the zone.
Mr. Jake had a good catch there, but he can't get around Solution. And Solution is causing problems right now. Buck, beautiful flip reset, reattached to that wall, and unfortunate for him, just played it straight down to Hub here. Good demo from Red Dead Redemption, but Solution able to buy himself enough time there to recover. 0 boost for Mr. Jake, and Buck now trying to escape the zone. One good dunk, but Hub will play it back in. Good pressure here from UNA, just haven't quite been able to break through.
Oh my, even when Solution commits with him, Buck's still able to find a way to keep the offensive going. That shot just off the crossbar, and Buck side flips up Mr. Jake, both going for that ball, and they will find a clear over the midfield line, and Solution to no one in particular, but fortunately for Bama, no blue cars in the area to take it away. Red Dead Pain called into action on the blue back line, and then once more on the sidewall. Good transition. Ball just a bit too high, and Solution there to coax it out of danger and off to the side.
Was holding my breath, Bepic, there. The shot was slow, and it looked like it had potential. But just over that bar, halfway home, and UNA hasn't quite been able to find the back of the net just yet, but this is certainly shaping up to be a very competitive series. Buck with a great beat, though. He's empty here. He's got nowhere to put it but the corner. Get the corner boost off. Mr. Jake went for it. Big demo in front, but Airy's there to clean up the mess. Maybe a little bit of smoke screen effect.
Buck, even on little boost, has great card control, and the demo also definitely helps, calling into Airy just to put a shot on net, and Airy definitely good enough. Not in the usual starting 3, but Alabama has a very, very deep roster, and we are seeing that right now. UNA still struggling despite the absence of, dare I say, the top 2 players in the Crimson Tide roster.
Ooh, chaos in front. Mr. J caught a clean bump there to keep it from being 3-0. Solution back down. Solution, huge dunk again. Man, he is a dunk machine. Just hasn't quite been able to get one to end up in the back of the net. Red Dead Pain trying to slow it in the corner. Down to UNA, but it's still a manageable deficit with a minute 30 left. Have to avoid conceding again, and Hub with a massive clearance.
I thought as soon as you were going to say that, UNA was going to give one up. They were a little awkward there, and Alabama was slowly figuring out more and more ways to make UNA work a bit harder on the goal line to get these saves that lead to clearances. And with that is going to come a mountain of pressure, especially when you can't get that second touch. Good demo, though, by Hub. Missed the ball the first time around, got the car on the second time. So UNA a chance to get one maybe for the road. Minute left, just down by 2, but we really have not seen too many threatening opportunities from North Alabama.
Yeah, 4 shots listed. I think only one really had some dangerous menace behind it there, and it's a good clearance extension to Buck, but his touch a little awkward, but well, they'll take time in the blue corner here. Pinches all the way out to Buck, who's retreating back into the orange half here. Off the ceiling he goes. He'll be forced to take a 50, and it's a great one. Aries up, Airy to the back of the net, turned away by Red Dead Payne, but with 30 left on the clock, it's looking good for the University of Bama.
And Alabama 8 shots to the 4, now make it 5 of UNA, so shot deficit not the most severe that we have seen for a team playing against Alabama. For those of you that have not watched Alabama's Rocket League team play this season of the main stage, they went 12-0 in games, 4-0 in series, and they were fairly dominant en route to those numbers. And this definitely the closest I think we have seen Alabama be played by an opponent. So UNA, with this best-of-7 format, could do some damage to the Crimson Tide.
Could definitely see them taking a game or 2 here, but Solution and Buck really had great series there. And then, of course, Airy was dishing dimes, causing problems, led the Crimson Tide in shots with 6 there. So a good look for Bama early. UNA, definitely some positive takeaways, just really have to facilitate the offense to be a little bit more threatening.
Yeah, there were just times where UNA would get a counterattack going, and then they would miss a ball, miss contact on a defender, something like that, and then it would break down. They'd have to defend for 20, 30 more seconds on the other side of things. So if they can figure out how to maintain offensive pressure on Alabama, then perhaps they find some windows, exploit some gaps on the backline rotations of AL. We'll see, though. Game 2 here on Utopia Coliseum about to get underway, and I would love to see UNA on the board early.
Yeah, would definitely love to see that. Beppe could be a huge step in the right direction for them, but once again, we start off on the blue end as Buck flying in, turn this one on. Red Dead Payne, easy save, but Buck with a huge boost starve, and that's what really starts the pressure is UNA being low on boost.
Ooh, not the greatest of touches. Actually, it was more of control from Red Dead Payne. I thought a Bama player would be in the area to take it away like that. Great touch out to the side there. And Red Dead Payne there for the rebound, combining with Mr. Jake for some nice defense. But then Solution comes through and breaks it all apart. 1v3, Bama up early.
What is that? Pops it over one and under the other. The most perfectly weighted touch that I've seen. Oh my goodness.
That was immaculate. It's good news for Alabama fans that it's not just Buck having to do this scoring. Of course, he's the usual starter for this Alabama team. And speaking of scoring, chance the other way, though, Airy right there for a touch out. These backline, ever so slight touches have been huge for both sides. Difference being Alabama not having to play nearly as much defense as UNA. And point in case right here, Volts, Bama looking threatening with every touch they take on the ball.
And a little bit of miscommunication in midfield. We'll see this one coming straight back. Buck is up. Buck wants the double. Didn't find it. But Airy with the flip cancel shot will put it in the back of the net.
Again, just unrelenting offensive abilities. Buck has to force the respect of the defenders to maybe think he's going to hit that double, and Airy's right there for the cleanup. This Bama team knows where their strengths lie, and it comes through their offense. 2-0, only a minute 12 in.
Buck contests this one off the ceiling, and right back to the blue end we go. Good fake from Solution. Airy will put it away, and Bepic, game number 2 starting to get out of hand already.
Yeah, it definitely is. UNA's defense not nearly as solid as it was in game 1. I think they're respecting Alabama a bit too much, and that comes with being pulled out of positions by the speed with which the Alabama players are flying across the field right now. This is a pickle that North Alabama find themselves in.
Yeah, definitely need to regain here quickly, as that will be that's a great start.
Yes.
Good touch here from Mr. Jake, and Airy just dropped this one into the danger zone, dropped it straight to Hub, no one there to extend, and Buck caught flat-wheeled.
Unforced error. Great capitalization by Hub, being in the area, maybe thinking that there might be a ball that comes his way, and then once presented with the opportunity, fired a missile on net, closing that deficit down to 2, but I spy an open net, and Airy right there for the 4th.
Just as it looked like UNA was getting back in, that's a big whiff on that back line, Bepic, and you can't afford those kind of mistakes against Alabama. They just gifted you one to give you some kind of momentum. You can't afford to gift them anything.
Yeah, just rotational error. 2 players going for the orange corner boost, and then last man, no contact. A series of unfortunate events, and Alabama stripping any momentum that NA had a second ago. They'll have to figure it out, and that's how you do it. Make them play awkward.
This is a great look here for Red Dead Payne. Able to cut out the passing lane. Hub with a huge bump onto Buck. Poor guy. Thought he had a big booming clearance, and then he gets bumped from the side. And that will cut the lead in half. Just 3 minutes, or I should say 2 minutes gone by, Bepic, and we've had 6 goals already.
Well, at the very least, UNA's offense is starting to get going. They're creating chances as well as capitalizing on mistakes. Not to figure out how to keep it going and shore things up on the defensive end. That was a little awkward. Still, double commits and misses leaking into the defensive rotations of UNA. And if they can sort that out, they'll be in a pretty decent spot.
Oof. Someone just went flying past, got faked. Another one goes past. No one's back. Airy double just won't quite go. Buck's follow-up turned away. And UNA escapes danger one more time here. Counter-attack coming. Mr. Jake wanted the flick, but he's double contested, and we'll see Airy depossess him.
Airy denied at the door, and Buck going to beat 2. Solution all the time in the world to get this play started. 1 to beat, past Red Dead Payne. Buck tried to go backwards for it, misses, and now an open net going the other way. Mr. Jake couldn't get power behind that shot, and will not be taking that gift of a potential 3rd goal, and is rightfully punished on the other end.
Oh my goodness, what a passing play here. Airy connects with Buck in the midfield, and it's right back to him. Wow, the extension there from Alabama, and as you said, Bepic, they avoided danger, avoid probably what should have been 4-3 scoreline, and they immediately make you pay 5 seconds later.
Alabama can do it by themselves, and they can play as a team, and the latter definitely something that translates to LAN if Alabama should close out this series and book their spot at the E-Plex. Certainly a good start. They are very likely going up 2-0 in this best-of-7 with a domineering offensive performance.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this one turns the momentum here. But again, more positive takeaways for UNA. Now your offense is starting to come to life. You know that you can score on them, and I think you've said it multiple times, Bepic. It's just the whiffs and the miscommunications on the back line that's really, really costing you some goals. Besides that, you erase a couple key mistakes, and you're really in this game.
Exactly. UNA just playing a bit too stressed out with the speed that Alabama is forcing them to play at, and I don't have an easy, immediate fix right there. I don't know if that was calmed. Red Dead Payne kind of took that from the hood of a Hub. I would have liked to have seen Hub slow it down a second, because Bama, they love playing at a lightning quick pace, and if you can slow things down in the center of the pitch, then maybe you get them to make a couple more mistakes or something of the sort. Either way, right there, not the case. Almost scored a goal off it, but this game, too, still kind of a wash at this point.
Yeah, definitely a wash. Again, this is the go next mentality. Just trying to build some momentum, trying to shore up that defense, making sure that you can carry some defensive structure. It's been a very fluid and loose defense. You really need to tighten up the structure, really form that backline wall moving into game number 3.
You play with a bit more patience. I don't know. You're going to have to combat Alabama somehow. There's a third goal for the road, and it's off the back of another Alabama mistake. So they're in position to make Alabama pay for some of the errors they commit. They just have to make sure they commit fewer on their own end.
Mr. Jake with a good fake there. He has to respect the fact that he might just have that touch. So it's a good fake to facilitate something. Solution almost dropped that one down into the box. Good commit from him as well. Hub, another shooting opportunity. Big demo to open up Alabama and maybe grab a fourth, but Solution by himself is able to get this one out. Buck trying to assist him and will end up all the way back on the blue end of the pitch. So this one goes final. It'll be a 2-game lead for Alabama, and they need just 2 more, Bepic, but I mean, North Alabama not out of it just yet.
They aren't, but Alabama is rolling, and UNA, they have to stop them somehow, construct a brick wall, and I think that metaphor is a pretty good one for what UNA has to do, because defensively, yes, they made 6 saves, but they conceded 15 shots, and construct a brick wall at that midfield line, I think. Gain more possession. Don't let it leak back into your own half. And then on your back line, hopefully, if you have that defensive setup at the center of the field, you're not having to defend against so many shots. And then they can find more saves, be more efficient in that regard, and take a game off of Alabama, which should be their #1 priority right here.
Definitely have to lower the volume of shots that you're facing. It is very difficult to win in car soccer when you're facing 15 shots and putting up just 4 of your own. And yeah, Bepic, this becomes a must-win game because you're not reverse sweeping Alabama. If you want any chance in this series, you have to win game 3.
I'm with you there. I think that's been the case all season with Alabama. If you go down, it was best of 5. If you go down 2 games against them, you're not coming back. You need to take a game early on in the series. And UNA, they were held scoreless in game 1, but only allowed 2 goals to Alabama and only allowed them to shoot 8 times in that one. Game 2 really got out of hand. UNA needs to return to how they were playing at the beginning here, which is solid defensively, and that's an early opportunity for Buck. He usually hits those. I'm a little astounded that's not in the back of the UNA net right now.
Well, it's in the back of the UNA net right now. So good timing on the words, but I definitely know what you mean. I was ready to pencil in goal #1 for Buck as well, and Hub just a little bit too awkward. Airy didn't even need to boost to tap that one in. And just like that, another 1-0 lead for Alabama early, and UNA can ill afford to have to play from behind for yet a 3rd game.
So fast, that ball, Airy right there, and is still contesting it on 0 boost. They're forcing 2 defenders to jump into the play and do something with the ball with 0 boost in the tank. This is just Alabama dominating. It seems like every player on Alabama is worth 2 of UNA, and the challenge game still very much in favor of the Crimson Tide. That shot a little bit off target. Maybe a second goal incoming. UNA needing a clear ASAP, and Hub will deliver.
That's a huge clearance. Red Dead Pain all the way upfield, back to Hub, and oh, what a play that would have been. And unfortunately, 2 commit, and Buck will punish them on the back end. Oh, what could have been.
Another double commit going to burn the University of North Alabama. That has summarized, I think, this series so far. Too many double commits in every aspect of the game, and Alabama so fast to punish.
Red Dead Pain trying to put this one back in front. He couldn't quite do it. And now this will leak back to midfield. Good cutout from Mr. Jake, but he's low boost, so he just has to dump this one into the zone and head on back. Red Dead Pain to Hub, back in front. He just can't quite reach it. It's weighted a little bit too heavy. Mr. Jake now giving good pressure in the corner. This is positive for UNA, as now they've pinned Alabama back. Hub drops it back down. Solutions forced to play it back to the side, and a little miscommunication by Alabama. Double commit there, and it won't quite escape the zone.
Great 50 by Mr. Jake, but again, on low boost, so he has to give it up. Red Dead Pain, good backup though. It opens up Hub for a shot. Big save from Solution. Rebound goes backwards, and now a chance to punish. Airy going to fake. Who was that? That went flying across the goal line there. Either way, a great play from Bama, once again punishing a mistake.
Airy went for a demo there, and it left Red Dead Pain out to dry. That just becomes a very unfortunate mistake, and again, the theme of this game, Bepic, what could have been, you had an elite passing play, you had about a minute's worth of pressure, and UNA has nothing to show for it.
UNA just doesn't have the offensive control that Alabama has, and so feels like everything that UNA has is going to one offensive, and then immediately Alabama just kind of flicks it aside and then scores another goal. Almost the case there. Will be the case there. 4-0. Bama still rolling halfway through Game 3. Actually, not even halfway through Game 3.
Yeah, Alabama once again really ending a game early here is, 4-goal deficit against a squad like this would require some UNA magic, and we'll see what they have in their bag of tricks here. Kickoff play, but it was a slow touch from Solutions. Airy has to sky for this. No touch comes through. Mr. Jake is a relatively open net, and Red Dead Pain will put it home. Great patience.
Yep, patience, awesome there. Double commit miss, and Mr. Jake knew he had all the time. The defender's in terrible spots, and a teammate right behind him. The stars aligned there for UNA. They didn't just take that first-time shot. They didn't continue to play at Bama's pace. They slowed it down just a bit to make sure they knew what they were doing, and they did. Down to 3-goal deficit here.
Huge back in front and a big booming clearance one more time. Red Dead Pain was up for it. Would have loved to see him turn that one on, but he got a great centered ball, and Hub just couldn't reach it. Mr. Jake got the best of Buck on that one. Red Airy as well, but the bounce is a little awkward, and Airy will be able to play it out. Buck, oh my, what a freestyle attempt that would have been. One of the 180 flick, and now working it back down on to that orange half. Buck doesn't get the flick this time. Mr. Jake getting the best of Buck twice in a row. That's a good sign as well. But Bepic, just 2 minutes left, and UNA needs to find at least 3.
Oh, make it 4. Airy has been dominant in this series. Right here, a hat trick on Urban Central. 3 for 5, and a lot of those have come from the midfield. His ball control has been quite nice. Game awareness as well to realize when there's no one back for UNA and when he has one to beat and how hard to put the shot on. I'm a big fan of Airy. If you couldn't tell, he's had a great series, but Red Dead Pain, count that one as his second goal of the game.
Hub with a good act. That's a fantastic pass. Good doesn't even describe it. Red Dead Pain, what a read there. The passing lanes are open for UNA, and they're really finally starting to connect on some of them.
Some hustle play right there as well. Happy to see a solid read and maybe a third goal here. No. Buck, a tremendous block, and now in transition area again on net. Red Dead Pain will find a save out into the side. Mr. Jake shut down, though, on the clearance attempt, and 2 players go, kind of getting each other's way, stepping on one another's foot, and we're going to remain at a 5-2 scoreline. Bama just wasting time here.
Bama perfectly content to let Father Time do all of the work for him here. Picked up a big demo to relieve some pressure. Mr. Jake was looking for the solo play, but that's no one back, and Buck will just make sure that this game stays a little bit too far out of reach.
And once more, it's just a win in the center third of the field. That time it's Buck. Just wins a challenge and has an open net to shoot on again, North Alabama. And at this point, it makes sense, but putting everything into their offensive plays, and it was a bit too much in that instance and might have just put the game out of reach.
62 on the clock, and now we enter that final minute here. UNA, so many positive takeaways, Bepic, but again, at the end of the day, you want that scoreline to be in your favor, and they will now need a reverse sweep of the University of Alabama. And, I try to be non-biased, Bepic, but I just don't see that as a possibility.
I don't think that's biased. I think it's just being logical. Alabama has outscored UNA in this series 14 goals, make it 15 goals now to 5. They've scored triple what their opponents have put in, and possession time, probably about the same. I've done the math on the shots. I can't do that fast enough while I'm talking, but probably something similar. Alabama has just played their style of RL, and UNA has not been allowed to whatsoever.
University of Alabama has such a deep Rocket League program here, Bepic. You could tell me this was their main roster, and I would 100% believe it. I mean, this is one of, again, we talked about that in the green room. We thought maybe missing Brock and Shan, that there was some potential there for UNA if they played really good Rocket League. And quite frankly, they played decent Rocket League.
Right.
But this University of Alabama entire roster is just built different.
It is. Alabama have forced the mistakes that have come out of UNA just too fast for UNA to keep up with. And now they have to reverse sweep, and it starts defensively, I think. You have to get back in transition as quickly as possible. There were so many open nets for Bama in that game, and you can't be given a team that already has everything more free stuff.
If you can limit Alabama to, I would say, 4 or less goals here, I think UNA definitely has a chance. The real struggle comes when they're having to play from behind and they're just having to go all out on offense. They feel the desperation to need to score to keep up with them. And so I think if they keep Alabama a little bit lower on the score line, they can play that patient style of Rocket League and maybe start to find that 3 or 4 goal number in their own column.
Big if. Game 4, a crucial one. Alabama wins it, they go to land. UNA drops it, and they go home, and they take it maybe a start of a reverse sweep dream. But at the moment, it is just a dream. And it is worth noting UNA playing without Gallion, who is probably the biggest source of their offensive firepower. That could be hindering them in this instance. They've still scored 5 in 3 games, which is usually a pretty decent number in Rocket League, but it's not been enough to keep up with Bama.
Forbidden Temple, the site of game 4 in the last leg for UNA here. Match point, series point for Bama here, and UNA would be huge to just get 1 here and try to build some momentum. But 5 on the clock, Bepic. 1 game confirmed to be left if there's a win on this University of Alabama side.
Solution 50 right there, and it goes out to Buck. Of course, it goes out to Buck. Good shot on, but better save from Hub, and now an awkward team pass play will set up Mr. Jake for a potential play off the sidewall. He's got a full tank of boost and some pace behind his Octane, but that pace turned into too strong a hit, gave it away to Bama, and now Solution running away has an open net because, of course, he does. That's been the MO of the Crimson Tide in this series.
Buck just got a hard touch back out to mid, and Solution, even on low boost, is just able to cut up field and really cherry pick that open net. And I think, Bepic, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Alabama has scored in the first minute of every single game.
If they haven't, it would have been in game 1. I can't remember that far back, apparently, because there have been so many goals scored. But you're definitely right about the last 3 from what I can remember. They have started it off so quickly. And I remember it because we keep saying how UNA has to score first. They need to get that right foot forward. But then Alabama just comes out immediately and shuts all those talking points down.
Full minute of play gone by. Buck's on the backboard. Buck back down, and there he's shot. Not going to quite be on. But Buck did a great job to keep possession. Solution up, no touching. That's a big miss as it'll relieve the pressure. Hub, good pop, but Airy quick to cut that one out. And Red Dead Payne now cuts another ball out. Wanted the dunk. Shot comes through, but it will be knocked away.
Buck was looking for Airy there. Little wayward, so a chance for UNA to push the envelope. No Solution, a catch right over to Buck down the field. Good cutout from Red Dead Payne, but again, right to Buck. Back to Solution in the infield, and he'll find no contact there. The offense of Alabama has slowed down just a hair, and UNA could use this as an opening, but Buck nearly scoring a pre-flip goal. Couldn't get it to go. Now in transition, Hub, plenty of space. That ball going to be a bit too high and airy there. Nonetheless, Alabama brush that offensive aside with some relative ease.
Double commit, shot coming through, and Mr. Jake will force Solution to make the save. Popped back over for Red Dead Pain, and no one able to go for North Alabama, but they'll take the pressures. We near the halfway point. Big dunk from Hub. It's once again into a corner where Alabama seems to be comfortable. Buck got a bump at mid, and Red Dead Pain has to cut rotation just to keep this one off of his own half. And as soon as I say that, Buck with a huge dunk puts it right back in.
In comes UNA once more. They're finding more time of possession. Now that we have entered the business end of this series, last half, potentially the last game. Red Dead Pain over to Hub. Hub, where's the third man? It's a big pop. Open nets. Good control from Red Dead Pain. Knew exactly where to land for the equalizer.
What a pass there from Hub. I wasn't sure if he had the vision, and he did. A beautifully weighted pass lands right on the hood of Red Dead Pain, and that's a tap-in right there. 1-1 Bepic, and this is, again, a key to success was limiting the scoring of Alabama, and while some of it has been the University of Alabama struggling a little bit, there has been much better midfield control and contests from UNA.
UNA has started construction on that aforementioned brick wall at the midfield line. Alabama right now sitting on 3 shots. That is a key metric to success for UNA. If they can keep it going, perhaps they take one of this best of 7. This is the first time we've had a game tied up at a non-0-0 scoreline, and UNA might be trying to end it with a lead of their own. Good pressure into the Bama box. That's some commit there for Hub that might be ill-advised. He didn't find contact. Now a hole has opened up in that wall of UNA's. Now they got to play some defense.
Buck causing problems, Buck causing a lot of problems, and the recovery just not there. One too many misses, and it's a touch, and then a fake bump, and a bump. Oh, that's a massive, 2 massive bumps. Okay.
I'm not even going to try to break that down. You described very nicely what went on there, Volts, and I don't even want to guess what was going through the players' minds. So, Bama up 1 late in game 4 here. 75 seconds on the death timer of UNA, and Solution wants to make the hole that UNA are in a little bit deeper. Buck the same. Actually might have blocked Solution's shot there. We'll move past that as UNA have moved on and into the orange zone. Drop down. Buck's there to cover it up, and Bama playing defense from their own corner.
Mr. Jake in front, off the ceiling. Red Dead Pain, though, had already pre-jumped the pass. But it's a good keep at the midfield line for now. Airy low boost clearance, and it'll come straight back where it came from. If it was touched, Red Dead Pain can't keep it out, and that might just do it.
And it's a big insurance goal if it hasn't. Just done it. Another miss. Red Dead Pain came off the crossbar. It was another one of those series of unfortunate events for UNA where the defensive timings just weren't correct, and Alabama punishing even the slightest of errors tonight. 3-1, 30 seconds on the clock. This is a chance to get one back. Open net. No, gap closed by Solution.
Gap closed, time dwindling, and as we get near the 15 seconds left mark, this might be closer than I thought, and Hub just can't quite put it on, and with that, Bepic, it will go final here from from Tokyo here. This one is over. Airy gonna tap one in just for the road, and as this one continues to move forward, excuse me, this is Forbidden Temple. I didn't even realize where we were. I was so distracted by the missed open net there. But what could have been, it was a fantastic league for UNA. Here they showed some real flashes of great potential, and University of Alabama just proved to be too much to handle.
Now, 3 for 3 as an esports program are the Alabama Crimson Tide. They got to land in Valorant, they got to land in League, and now they have gotten to land in Rocket League. They'll be in Birmingham. Hopefully all of you will be there as well to watch them play somebody, either UAB or USA. My apologies, talk more about that later, or Auburn coming up in just a little bit. Volts, but Bama looked pretty good despite missing 2 of their starters.
They looked really good. Again, it's just the depth of the roster. Next man up a mentality. You have to play 2 people that normally wouldn't see that kind of action. They did a fantastic job. They kept UNA on the back foot for the majority of those 4 games. And when you have the volume of shots that Alabama had, it's a winning recipe.
It definitely is, and that has been their recipe for success all season long. You're about to see another team that's got that ever so coveted 12-game win mark across 4 best of 5s. Auburn University going up against University of South Alabama, who got here in a tiebreaker fashion. So we'll talk more about that on the other side of this break. The main stage Rocket League. We'll be right back.
eternal, I'm alive again. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made of light, and it's your yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. Eternal, I'm alive again. Our story never has to end.
One final series, one final spot at the E-Plex in Birmingham, Alabama, going to be filled by either Auburn University or the University of South Alabama. It's still Bepic and Volts in the booth, and Volts, we just saw a stomping in favor of Alabama in the last series. You thinking this is the same case here?
It's the same thought line for me, Bepic, but I do know, again, you being part of that Auburn University esports there, we know that they're missing one of their main players today. Yep. So, you know, we thought maybe that would affect the outcome of the Alabama series. It didn't, but who knows? Maybe it does allow the Jags to grab a couple games here. It's the University of South Alabama versus the University of Auburn, and that is now underway.
Well, I know for a fact that the sub here for Auburn is not SSL. That's an SSL-type pass! My word! Waffle Killer, the Champ 3 diming up Bro Turkey for the first goal.
What a pass, and Bro Turkey makes sure he's rewarded with the clip. That is a dime. Absolutely love that. And so 7 seconds in, it's a 1-goal lead for the Tigers.
And for those that don't know, Waffle Killer is my roommate. I didn't hear him erupt in the other room, so I'm thinking that they're locked in right now. And speaking of which, Bro Turkey, solo play, blocked at the last second, but good attempt, better stop by Scrimmy right there. That was a huge save for USA.
Gray trying to put this one home. He just can't quite find the mark. Booman is empty right here, but he's got a great little pop. Follow-up doesn't come through. Gray called to make the save, and it's the extension. Gray to Bro Turkey. 2-goal lead.
So apparently the strategy for Auburn right now is pass to Turkey. That's 2 beautiful passes right to his front bumper, and Turkey knows what to do with a well-placed pass, and we just saw the result of 2 such plays. 2-0. A fast start for Auburn.
This is a great start. Again, kind of answering the question of will missing a starter hinder them. Gray flip reset in front. And Bepic, the answer to the question is no. This offense firing on all cylinders. They've only faced 1 shot, and Bro Turkey getting them out of some danger here, but it's Waffle Killer to make the save.
And looking for a clearance as well, puts it out to the side over to Bro Turkey, so still pursuing that one strategy. Another potential pass off the corner wall. Gray not going to commit for that as Buster was in the area, now in transition, trying to find something, but Gray shut it down immediately. Ran out of boost though, so he couldn't get up for that ball. Bro Turkey, no double. Now Waffle Killer all alone, off to buy some time for his teammates. Inbound is Scrimmy. He'll take that ball away, but Booman wasn't expecting the strong touch, and so Auburn given possession once more by USA.
Minute and a half gone by. Waffle Killer's shot turned away, and a big Timo, though, will open up the middle here for Gray, and he puts that one into the back of the net. 3-goal lead.
5 shots, 3 goals. Fairly solid. Everyone's scored but Waffle Killer, and he's found 1 assist as well. His shooting boots are on for the Tigers, and USA going to have to find some way to develop the kinds of chances that Auburn is getting in their offensive end, because the possession is there. They've gotten 2 shots on it. They've had a decent amount of attempts in the orange end, but they are not of the same quality as this. That's a miss from Bro Turkey, so a chance here for USA.
USA bailed out because that should have been goal number 4, and Bro Turkey will agree with me on that. Dangerous ball back in front. Booman's shot is weak enough for Bro Turkey to boom down the pitch. It's on frame as well, and his rebound is not. So that is not quite 4-0, and now it is Gray adds yet another.
Yep, we are seeing an Auburn team having their way with South Alabama at the moment. This is reminiscent of the last series, although in the last series, Alabama had a bit of a slow start, only held to 2 goals in Game 1 as opposed to the 17 that they put on in the next 3 games. Auburn already 4 to their name, and they have gotten everyone involved, especially that man right there, Bro Turkey, still doing what he can to be that catalyst for this team.
Doing his best, and they're facilitating some offense one more time. Scrimmy with the save, and Buster now with a good dribble. Buster 1 to beat, and it's Gray. He does beat and pick up a demo, but it's not on frame. Booman back in front wants the Doomsy, and Waffle Killer does a great job to turn that one away. Another shot coming on, and Gray off the backboard turns that away, but 2 Tigers went, and now some extended pressure for the Jags.
This was exactly what the doctor ordered. They could get this 4-goal lead down to a couple less but Gray finally gives him some space on the defensive end, and he's looking for a double flip reset or whatever the heck that was, and he found it. Just no shot on, really. Turned aside. Scrimmy a chance to shoot. Bro Turkey slows things down. Respected the potential for that play to develop the way he thought it might, and it paid off for him. Clear for Auburn, and now chances for them in the other end.
1:45 on the clock here in game one, all but over. Tigers continue to stifle the Jags on the defensive end, and that's a great turn away from Gray. Bro Turkey now will play it to the wall for himself. Pop doesn't come through, but Gray made a great read. The shot is just off, otherwise it'd be 5-0.
80 seconds here. No shot on. Rebound definitely is, but Turkey there for the save off his own post. Heroics on the back line, and now Waffle Killer towards an open net is just able to walk it on in. Auburn very likely starting off with a game win this best of 7.
Yeah, definitely a game win incoming here. Just 70 seconds left on the clock, Bepic. And while they haven't seen a couple threatening shots, the defense has been stellar.
It has. Even when USA has been putting on those strong hits, Auburn finding those big saves that they need to and turning them into deadly transitions. Great job weathering the storm. Great job hitting on the other end with pace, and Auburn a very controlled game one. We'll see what happens to game two, though, because USA did have some really good looks. Scrimmy looked so scary occasionally there, Volts, and he could be the leader that gets USA to maybe a game 2 win.
Yeah, Boomans had 4 looks at the net as well, a couple of them on frame and dangerous. And speaking of on frame and dangerous, what kind of shot is this?
It's an on-target shot that had a lot of heat behind it. The placements to perfection. And Waffle Killer with 2 goals. The last series that he played against JSU a couple of weeks ago, he only had 2 goals throughout those 3 games. So the fact that he is scoring very early on in this set is it's not good news for South Alabama.
I would question if he was actually C3 if you didn't know him, because that air roll shot with that much behind it is very, very rare to see, especially when you have guys like Gray and Bro Turkey. We expect that out of them. Speaking of expected, unexpected miss, big bump from Waffle Killer, but he makes the save. Desperation in front. Gray with a couple huge dunks, and I mean, perfect defense from the Tigers will hold. It's a 6-0 game number 1 win. That was almost 7-0, but it's turned away once this one hits the ground. We do go final. Auburn resounding in game number 1.
Well, when I was told earlier that Waffle Killer would be playing in place of Vroko, I got a little nervous about Auburn's prospects of making it to land. I'm a little less nervous now. 15 shots on target. Again, we learned it in the last series is a recipe for success, and USA had 7 of their own. That's a solid number as long as you're not conceding as much to your opponents as they did in that game 1. A lot of positives to take forward into game 2 for South Alabama. I think they really have a chance at making this a tight series.
I would have to agree here. Definitely a chance to do that. You just, again, we sound like broken records. If you've been here with us for the entire thing, you have to limit the amount of volume. Volume of shots is way too high.
I mean, that has been a consistent theme throughout the main stage. When a team does what they want to, plays the pace that they prefer in offense, it's been their game every single time. Scrimmy almost stole away, made game 2 his game, but the post had his number right there, and immediately Auburn trying to get a counterattack going.
Great beat from Waffle Killer to put it back down to go, and just like that, Bro Turkey into the back of the net just 20 seconds in, but this one facilitated by Waffle Killer.
Double commit on the back end as well from USA. Pressure will make you break, and Auburn just seems to be able to compact pressure into small bursts of offense. It's not that extended stay in the blue end, grabbing corner boost, grabbing mid boost, and winning challenge after challenge. It is just transitional challenge 1, and then it's followed up by a quick rebound with a sharp shot from one of the orange cars, and USA, at the moment, they cannot keep up. Gray's through 2, almost through a third. Good save. USA don't have a whole lot in the tank, though, to make a counterattack happen.
Bro Turkey just 46 here to try to make something happen
Oh,
in
no.
front. Reattach this one. Dangerous still in the box. Buster to pop it straight up. And finally, Booman will use his entire tank to get it out to the side. Scrimmy's still empty and now doesn't exist. And Bro Turkey lost the 50, but it's again controlled at mid. Gray, one pop. Gray over a second. Drop down. No one there. But USA is hanging on for dear life, Bepic.
They are. They can't find anything. I mean, if I tab real quickly through their players, now they've got boost, but still, Waffle Killer wins a challenge. Gray wins a challenge. Bro Turkey actually loses that challenge. So finally, South Alabama a chance to breathe some of that orange air, and let's quickly turned aside and put back into the blue end as Gray gets right back to it. South Alabama hopefully picked up some boost in positioning with that clear they found a second ago, but Auburn still dominant in terms of time and possession.
Waffle Killer erases one. Gray wins a good 50. Bro Turkey shot back of the net and just above the 3-minute mark. Auburn continuing to dominate Bepic.
Waffle Killer got 2 right there. We saw the demo, and he tagged Booman on the way out. A quick little bump into the corner, and that opened up a net. And when Gray and Bro Turkey are shooting like that, then it's just about all said and done. As long as South Alabama is pinned back, they will not be able to win this series because they're getting picked off one by one, demo after demo, shot after shot. Auburn up 3-0.
Yeah, the physicality from the Tigers is just too much right now for USA. It's something I will say we haven't really seen out of the Tigers very much in the regular season, but now breaking out some of that physical play. Again, they've already played USA twice this season here, so mixing the play styles very, very well has the Jags stuck on the back foot.
Actually, this is their first time seeing USA. They've played UNA and
correct,
JSU, who do have similar styles of play. Especially when they are pinned back. Auburn, Alabama, definitely the 2 top dogs here, and their offenses have proved to be a lot. They do mix up their offense as well, though. Like Auburn, we typically see looking for more passing plays than demo plays, and they have shifted it here to show us what they're capable of, and Bro Turkey even mixing in a couple of solo plays here and there. Still, only 3 goals allowed. USA, they've got time to make a comeback happen. They just have to escape their own half.
Dangerous ball back down. That was a triple commit there from USA to try to keep that out of the back of the net, and it will work. Booman had a chance to flick one there, and Bro Turkey just not having any of it. Buster about got bumped by Gray, and the pass to Booman cut out by Waffle Killer. Big demo, open net. Bro Turkey went slow, and that's goal number 4.
I don't know what USA has to do to escape the grasp of Auburn right now, because they're finding the occasional clear, but they don't really have the boost to follow it up. It feels like Auburn is just playing so much faster than South Alabama, and I don't know other than try and slow it down and win challenges, which even then it's not going their way. It's just unbearable for USA right now. They can't do anything right at the moment. It's got to feel like that, but that is definitely right, and I'm so glad I jinxed them for that goal.
You jinxed it, and I was going to mention that we did have the potential for a perfect sweep brewing, but not anymore. The 1 goal from the Jags is their first of the series, and maybe that's what they need to get going.
Perhaps sometimes that first goal is like a monkey off your back. It's a lot of pressure lifted, but Bro Turkey, he's still doing things like that. So they found a way to score, now find a way to stop Turkey.
Stop Waffle Killer here. Now it's Bro Turkey, and yep, that was not the one you needed to stop. Bepic said stop Bro Turkey, and they don't quite do it.
That's tough. They're trying to play so quickly. I don't mind Booman going for that ball, just didn't have the read, and that's the key difference. Every time you make a miss defensively, Auburn, because of their speed, are right there to take a shot, and usually that shot is going to force you to make a difficult save, waste more boost, and get in even a worse position.
Dangerous back down here. Waffle Killer had the read. He got it under 1, got it to Turkey, who's turned away by Booman. This one's still hanging out on the blue half for now, but a long ball back out. Good control from Buster. Will try to slow it down, and immediately as he does, Bro Turkey took it away from him. Gray's demo will relieve the pressure as well, and once again, the Tigers able to escape their end with some physicality. Speaking of physicality, another demo.
Though it's not going to work out in favor of Auburn that time. USA, chance here, but Scrimmy is beaten, and there's no one really behind him. Buster from the back wall, a ball out, but right to Bro Turkey. Had 100 boost, passed one blue car, but couldn't get his wheels in the ceiling. Doesn't matter, though. Waffle Killer, a good challenge. One, USA pinned back. Game 2 going to come to a close with Auburn still on top. They have outscored USA 11-1 so far in this series.
11-1. That is quite the feat. Trying to make it 11-2 is Scrimmy, and that's a beautiful double there. Some momentum to take with them into game number 3.
Scrimmy has had his moments. When he's given space, he can make plays happen. Just have to find a way to generate that space a bit more often and then have the boost to do something with it. Boomman, a phenomenal pass out, and Scrimmy did what he could. 5-2, much more respectable scoreline. Maybe make it 5-3. Oh, no, Boomman going to spike it there, but it didn't really matter. Auburn 2-0 in this series.
2-0 in resounding fashion, as you said, 11-2, the scoreline through 2, and some positive takeaways for the Jags, but again, you have to limit the volume. 13 shots from the Tigers to just 3 of your own.
It's good escape. There was no open window. There was no sewer drain that leads out into the open. USA found very, very few clears, and then when they did, felt like it was put right back into the USA end. So Auburn, they're cruising like they're headed down I-85 towards Birmingham, and they just might be in a week and 2 days if they win 2 more games.
Just 2 games needed. And I would say this is the same situation as our prior series here. It is a must-win game for the Jags. You have to pick up a win here in game number 3 if you want any chance, be it small, to get back into this series. Scrimmy's got him off to a good start, and maybe carrying some of this momentum from his late goal over. Buster's going to keep it one more time. Waffle Killer trying to get it out. He got it in the direction of Bro Turkey, who will be able to flick it on. It won't be able to go into the back of the net, but it's a good start nonetheless.
It is, and USA, they definitely do need that because Auburn, not one of those teams that likes to start goofing off a whole bunch. Alabama, definitely one of those. We see them go for crazy mechanical plays, but Auburn with a solid lead is they nearly built for themselves early on in the first minute with that challenge. They play just like they play as though they're down by 4. They just go and rotate properly, shoot properly, and they shoot hard. Gray for the first in game 3.
This is a fantastic shot from Gray. It's into that left area of the goal, and Boomman was left out to dry there. Not going to be able to reach that one. 1 minute in, 1 goal lead.
Now USA needing a quick response because this is how you get to the point of no return in this best of 7. You go down by a lot early on in game 3, which is, like you said, must win, though Auburn seemingly having ginormous octanes at the midfield line to keep the ball in the blue half, and Bro Turkey definitely one of those ginormous octanes. Almost a second, but the defense holding strong. Unfortunately, ball right out to Gray.
Back out, couple big whiffs, one from each side, and Bro Turkey will be able to pick up the chaos. Almost had a fantastic double, but couldn't quite make it play. Gray, good pop. A Boomman's there to match him. Good 50, and Scrimmy will depossess him. Waffle back mid to Bro Turkey. The theme of this series. Bro Turkey nets yet another one off a pass.
It is a food theme in the lobby with waffles and turkeys, and the two feeding one another right there. Waffle Killer from the side wall again, diming up his SSL companion in the infield, doubling the lead of Auburn and putting USA in a deeper and deeper rut.
Boomman wanted to flick this one on. He got a touch to it, but not the one that Scrimmy was waiting for. Buster with a good ball back down into the box. Buster, big pop-up. It's going to have to be Scrimmy, and he can't reach it in time. Bro Turkey thinking double, doesn't have the touch, and that is fortunate for South Alabama until it's not. Waffle Killer, what placement?
I don't think he expected that one to go in. He just kind of put it towards net, and it goes bar down. An unfortunate side flip by Boomman, and Buster couldn't react in time. So a strike from the center line, enough to make this, turn this lead from a bit scary to a bit domineering. Now, half a game of Rocket League left to play, but the way the possession game has shaped out so far, USA really in a tough spot.
Good cutout in mid from Bro Turkey, but it won't be followed up immediately. Gray's got to track back and find some pads. He was half tank, and here he goes down past 2, wanting to take the 50 on Scrimmy, and he does, and it's to that side wall. Scrimmy has to rise to the occasion again. No double comes through, and Booman will have an opportunity to get this one out. Big demo from Buster will alleviate some of the chance of a counterattack until Bro Turkey reaches it.
And again, the speed from Auburn. Too much for USA's offense. That cleared the midfield line up to Bro Turkey. And over to Gray, though, Scrimmy getting in the way. Double commit offensively. We're going to the third man commit right here. Or actually, Scrimmy still in the play. Puts it on net. Bro Turkey, big save right there. No momentum to USA just yet. They're still hunting for that first goal in this game to make it 3 total across 3 games in this best of 7. But that offensive dying out.
Dying out, and back to the defensive USA goes here. Booman trying to launch this one down the pitch and reconnect, but he's empty in the boost tank. Gray pass upfield, Scrimmy cut out, and it'll be 50 back towards mid one more time. Bepic, I'm still baffled. I don't know what USA has to do to try to get back in this series.
I don't know. Attach airplane jet engine to the back of their cars, make them go even faster, because every challenge is out center, and Auburn's there with boost, good positioning, and then the shot they put on net is perfect. Sometimes your opponent is just better than you, and Auburn has shown that they are much better than South Alabama.
Yeah, clearly just the better squad here. I mean, it's going to require near perfect Rocket League from USA if they want any chance to get back into this series. And Auburn, no mercy, continuing to pour on the goals. They can't quite find number 5, and Bro Turkey will just bump Scrimmy off the counter attack. And Demo Booman, physicality coming out, passing play through, and Waffle Killer just couldn't quite put that one away.
He ran out of boost, unfortunately. He would have loved for that to go. I might have heard some screaming after that one. But 4-0, and Auburn, they have dropped one game. I mentioned earlier, all season long, and it did come when Waffle Killer was in the roster. It was him, Vroko, and Gray playing that day. And it came when JSU was able to outperform them offensively. Auburn just missed a ton of shots, and South Alabama has to figure out how to get enough pressure around them to force those shots off target, and then the transitions are going to have to be near perfect from the boys in blue. We saw one great one just a second ago to put that 1 up on the scoreboard, replacing the USA 0, but they're going to need a lot more of those in Game 4 if they want to take just one off the Tigers.
This one will be grounded right on top of the midfield line, and Epic, as you said, near perfect transitions going to be required. Going to have to take advantage of every single opportunity, and still have yet to limit the Tigers to under double-digit shots.
That's a problem, especially when USA is averaging right around the 3 to 5 mark in terms of shots. They don't get many opportunities, and Auburn has a ton. That has to change, and it starts with the challenge game. I don't know how to tell USA to just win more 50s. That's
it sounds
so
simple.
tough.
It sounds simple, but as we know from our limited playing experience, it is not that easy.
No, it's not, especially when you've got 2 SSLs in the lobby going up against you. And when the Champ 3 is playing as well as he has in this lobby, the odds stacked up against you. USA, they need an early goal. I think I could say that with a lot of confidence. It's just a matter of can they find it? And the answer, well, so far no.
Yeah, so far nothing to show for it as Bro Turkey looking to start it with a clip. That's a great save. Beat the third as well. Gray is back in a 1v3 and it'll cost him his life, but he's able to get a booming clearance.
Wall. It's been fruitful for Auburn, and Gray from that position found Waffle Killer on the other side of the pitch. Now, Bro Turkey moving up, collides with Waffle Killer. Oh, but it still finds its way to Bro Turkey's car, and that is about as easy as 1, 2, 3 for that man right there.
Even if he hadn't found the touch, Gray was finding one as well. Just like that. One more time, USA going to have to play from behind here, but game fours have been favorable to the team trailing today. Bepic, if there's any trend, so maybe can find a way to get back into this series.
Yeah, shots were even in that game 4 between Alabama and UNA. So, USA, they're already starting out on the right foot. They have 1 shot to Auburn's 2, but time of possession, I would say, has been about even throughout the first minute. A chance to make it more so. Scrimmy on net. Bro Turkey, a soft save, but no blue car in the area to punish it. He knew he had space and time, and now he knows he has Gray right there. No contact, no strong contact, rather. And so USA, a chance here. No shot, though, coming from the demo.
Love the physicality. Demoed 1, went to bump and net, and at least gave your teammate a chance to put it away. Didn't quite come through, but again, Bepic looking much, much better. The offense is spending more time in this orange half. It's the demos raining through, and there's Booman to put one away.
There we go, catching Auburn a bit off guard, these demo plays, and Waffle Killer, the victim of Buster's wrath in that instance, and great placement from Booman. Perfect right there from USA. If they can replicate that a couple more times, then we got ourselves a series.
We'll see if they can make just that happen. 1-1. The first time we've been level, not on 0-0, Bepic. So positive already. Scrimmy able to pick up a demo. Auburn not liking the physicality that's being thrown at them. It's left them open a couple times, and another opening. Booman's got USA the lead.
That's a mistake right there. Waffle Killer crept out, not respecting Booman's potential to boom that ball on net. And finally, honestly, that's the first time it's looked like a Champ 3 tonight. And USA, their first lead of the evening.
Can they hold on to it? It's a long 3 minutes. It's going to feel like an eternity. Oh, they might actually add to it, but Bro Turkey there to turn that one away. He forced an awkward touch as well, and now Gray, plenty of boost in space. Gray tried to sneak it under. He'll just leave it for Waffle. Ooh, it's turned off there. He went for an extra pass, and Bro Turkey was not ready for it.
Now encounter, Buster through one, pass down. Little off to the side. That would have had to have been a pinpoint accurate pass for it to have turned into a goal. And it was not. So, Bro Turkey over to Gray. A chance to shoot. And, of course, he's going to make the most of it.
Gray beats not 1, not 2, 3 blue defenders. Here, Scrimmy can't reach it. Buster's a little off target, and Booman just not quite fast enough. And just like that, the Tigers have it level as we're just above the halfway point.
And now it gets scary for USA because they had that lead. They had Auburn on the ropes for a moment. They had Auburn playing awkward defensively, playing a lot more defense than they have had to in this best of 7. But Auburn has found a way to keep this game tight and now even. And USA really needing that lead back. It's a good start, but no one was there to shoot on the back end of Auburn.
The big demos coming through. Gray trying to reach up and grab that one. Couldn't quite get control, and Bro Turkey erased one more time. Waffle Killer left corner for Gray, and it's going to benefit as Gray's able to turn on this one, play it upfield, but he can't quite reach that one. Bro Turkey, limited boost, will just be forced to dump it downfield, and Tigers under more pressure than they've been for the entire series. Awkward in front, and Scrimmy has the lead for USA again.
Another backline mistake by Waffle Killer, just a misread that time, and Gray didn't know if he was going to shoot or pass right there, and Buster doing the latter, finding Scrimmy for a hard ball on net. Great communication there by South Alabama, and they've caught out Auburn once more.
Caught them lacking one more time, and we'll see. Now it's a minute 35 that they have to hold on to, and it's going to feel like 3 minutes. Scrimmy, speaking of holding on, played that off his own post and got the friendly bounce. Huge read from them and a huge read from Gray, but Boomman able to rise up and put it away.
Good stuff there from Waffle Killer, but pass back. Gray's a little far back, and they are punished. 4 goals here in Game 4 for South Alabama, and that is more than they have scored in the first 3 combined. So, great work by USA, staying locked in to this long series, even when Auburn was really dominant in those first 3 games.
Dominant indeed, 4-2 is how they trail here. Bepic, this is quite the mountain to climb to get back into this one. They've got just over 60 seconds on the clock, and quite frankly, it doesn't look too great. This is a totally different USA team playing with nothing to lose. Gray trying to get this one in front. He will, but Boomman, I believe, got a small touch to that one and did turn it away. Now around 2, back to Waffle Killer, and he'll have to throw that one down the pitch. Gray needs to turn this in front. It's there, no shooter, and Scrimmy with a fantastic touch. This one is nearing the end, Bepic, just 30 left.
Yeah, still time for the comeback. It is possible. Auburn knows how to play efficient offense, but not being allowed to play offense at the moment. Gray, a strong ball down the field to look to chase. Picks up the corner boost, but finds no second touch on the rock. So Waffle Killer steps up, takes too hard a ball, and throws away possession right there. 10 seconds left, and now I don't think it is possible for Auburn to come back unless Waffle Killer somehow scores this. Oh, hold on, Bolts. Hold that thought. Oh, okay, ball's off. It's over. We're going to a Game 5.
Game 5 in USA looked like a brand new squad. That was very, very impressive. And all right, there's the first one. You need 3 more, 2 more to really make things interesting. 3 to win the series, but I don't know what they changed, Bepic, but it's working.
They were able to catch out Auburn a couple more times. They were playing more efficient defense. It looked like. Of course, I didn't have an in-depth analysis of their boost totals, but it felt like USA were finding clears and then the follow-ups to those clears. And then a couple of times, those clears led to Auburn mistakes, like the Waffle Killer instance where he pushed too far up or missed the back wall read. And right there was a blue card to punish and score. And that's how I think half of the goals scored by USA in that game came to fruition. So if they can do that again, replicate that mistake-punishing performance, then they might push us to a Game 6, but Auburn right back to it, and this is looking scary.
Looking scary, but hasn't yielded a goal just yet. Gray's shot well off the mark, and Bro Turkey did not find boost, so this is going to buy USA some time to go find boost. Gray off the ceiling will not be able to put this one on. He's looking for a demo and can't catch Boomman. He does, however, pick up the boost. He'll get the mid as well, and Waffle Killer slowing things down in the corner. One great touch from him, and he'll lose the 50 at mid to Boomman.
At least it falls to Gray. He can do something here. Wanted a double, it looked like, but the flip resets not going to come to fruition. Minute in, scoreless. That could change. Scrimmy last man over to the corner. Out of danger for now and beats Bro Turkey, but Gray right there to gobble it up, takes a 50 with Buster, and Boomman called into action on the back line. Auburn starting to build back that wall at the center line on the field, and that is bad news for USA. They would love, I'm sure, to see the offensive end here.
Boomman dropped this one in front. Gray with a great cutout, and he'll make sure he secures that corner boost. This is a neutral game if I've ever seen one. Bro Turkey trying to unlevel us, and his shot not on. Gray's shot turned away, and once again, USA able to weather a quick storm. The shot from a Waffle Killer ends up in front with no one there to follow it up, and we're nearing, wow, I mean, I think this is the deepest into a game we've gone, Bepic, without a goal scored.
I think you're right about that for sure, considering how many goals have been scored in the last several games. And Auburn, they are not connecting with passes anymore. A lot of them off the mark or not even happening whatsoever. A little bit more solo play based, and the demos not anywhere to be found on that blue back line. So USA They have made the Tigers abandon a couple of their offensive strategies, but there's one that's held true. Let Bro Turkey do his thing. He might set you up for success, but still, scoreless. Auburn not finding anything there.
Halfway point crossed. Not a single goal here. The most uncharacteristical game. Both of these defenses playing so well. Scrimmy went through that one there, and Boomman lost the 50. Buster, though, will keep it. Big demo, and Bro Turkey rises to the occasion to keep this one level. A fantastic save, and Auburn trying to escape its own end. Big mistake here. Waffle Killer's able to turn on it, and the team pinch fails.
Great reaction time from Waffle, because I don't know if that was calmed or if he still had ball cam on, but either way, punishing USA, and that's really the first time Auburn has found that first goal, or really all their goals, off of just being in the right place at the right time. USA, they need to rebound from that quickly, because that is a crucial mistake regarding their land chances.
Boomman trying to play this one to the side. Auburn clinging to that 1-goal lead. This one back towards that midfield area. Bro Turkey lost the 50, but it took 2 to get it there. Scrimmy in front. Waffle Killer made the save. Bro Turkey got a piece of it as well. He'll just walk this one out. It's popped along, and Scrimmy's going to put it right back where it came from here. USA has to find a goal in the next 90.
Well, I'm not going to help. Ball takes an unfortunate skip off of Scrimmy's car. And Buster straight up. Waffle Killer, though, a big beat on Boomman. Now wanted a touch on the ball, or Scrimmy. Neither one ended up happening. Gray demoed in the corner. Bro Turkey's going to move up. Takes out 2 defenders. Waffle Killer to shoot. He skies the shot. Where is Gray? Too far back after respawning from his time in the penalty box. And now Boomman taking a shot on net. Bro Turkey there for the save, of course, but under a minute left to play. USA starting to push deeper into the orange half.
Waffle Killer back in front. Scrimmy there to keep hope alive. 45 on the clock, and their death timer, as you said, Bepik, is just counting downwards. To them, feels like at 2 times speed, and for Auburn, feels like it should be over by now. 30 in front, back to back, no touches, and finally, the third man, Bro Turkey, will extend the lead to 2, and that might just be it here for the hopes of USA.
Auburn's offense so versatile. They can score with demo plays, passing plays, solo plays, and now double fake plays where 2 players completely miss the ball and Bro Turkey is allowed to shoot. Big 30 seconds now. USA, they need to make the comeback of their lives, or else they are definitely eliminated. And Scrimmy definitely the player to get things started. There's one. Boomman for 1 for USA.
What a shot from Boomman here. Scrimmy pops it extra high, and Boomman with the best shot he's had all series. Crossbar down, and it sneaks under Bro Turkey. Oh, Bepik, there's a chance.
There's a chance, and this kickoff holds so much weight in this series. Gray going to win it for Auburn, but Buster pops it up. Bro Turkey shuts that down. Gray is up. He's looking to double, and he's got it! Gray might have just sent Auburn to Birmingham.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says Gray. What a read, and the placement is elite. Top tier 12 out of 10, however you want to categorize it. And just like that, Auburn is looking really good for their LAN opportunity.
And that'll do it. They have got it. You will see a triple Iron Bowl matchup. Valorant, League of Legends, and Rocket League, all going to be University of Alabama versus Auburn University. How about that? They dropped a game, Volts, not as clean as Alabama. They've dropped 2 games now, the Auburn Tigers, but I think they definitely can still give the Crimson Tide a run for their money.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this matchup, Bepik. Again, it is a best of 7, best of sets. I am excited that we are going to have a full day for some Rocket League. Of course, after the Valorant wraps up, and of course League of Legends in the schedule as well. But you and I are going to have a fantastic time, and I know the players are going to as well.
You know what that means, right? If Valorant and League of Legends are both split between Auburn and Alabama, that Rocket League is the tiebreaker to determine who is the better esports program and who needs to disband their esports facilities.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the results, Bepic. These were some fantastic matches today, and I can only guess what's going to happen when we get to LAN.
It's going to be a lot of fun. 9 days. I will be counting them down as we get closer and closer. I cannot wait, Volts. But for now, that's a wrap on the regular season and first week of playoffs. So the next time all you viewers out there see our lovely faces, it will be in person, and you better come up and shake our hands and grab a picture, because we are going to be having a great time at the Eplex in Birmingham, Alabama. For Brandy behind us, pressing all the buttons, for all the players for playing, the viewers for watching. Volts, thanks for casting with me, and you viewers, we'll see you in Birmingham.